Mm-hmm.
Heslop, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm. Good morning, Ben. Mitch, Karen with a C. What's up, Eric?
Are you dyeing your hair? You look blonde.
Blonde?
Are you blondie now?
I thought I looked whiter.
Whiter?
No, I was in San Diego last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
So that's what you call 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Does Eric's camera look dark?
I'm fixing it now.
Oh,
That's
I
racist.
couldn't do it without having somebody
That's racist.
yeah, you racist man. So that is called California Sun,
California sun.
my friend. California Sun.
Okay. Take your word for it.
Yeah. No, it's not dyed. If anything, it was more white, my friend.
Mm.
And I wish not.
Oh,
that's interesting. Nikki Glazer is going to be hosting the Golden Globes.
Is she?
Yeah.
That should get edgy.
You know what? She got very, very, very popular with her reality show, St. Louis's Own.
Mm-hmm.
Then she did the Tom Brady roast, and she was outstanding.
Yeah.
Making fun of Gronk with crypto.
Yeah.
Even me know that real not money. Tom, what's wrong with you? Even Gronk knows me know that not real money. And now she said that she knows she's going to get canceled for her jokes, but she doesn't care.
Who cares?
Exactly.
That is like the new badge
Way
of honor.
to go, Nikki.
It's the new badge of honor. You're canceled. Multi-million-dollar contracts.
I'm waiting on mine.
Yeah. Oh, snap. That one took a second.
Hey, now. I love it. Where'd you play last weekend?
Don't tell me. Kansas City.
Oh,
Kansas
nice.
City, yeah.
One of Megan's best friends messaged her from your concert 2 weeks ago at Frankie Martin's, maybe?
Yes.
Did you guys set another record out there for attendance that night?
We gave it the old college try. I'm not sure if we did or not.
What do you think? Over 5,000?
Oh, that field?
10,000?
Yeah, that's, if you fill that up, that's 5,000 easily.
I was going to say.
I think. Yeah. It's fun. It's free. It's, kid worthy most of the time. It's so funny. PRL, we have a PG show and a rated X show.
Rated X.
What other bands can say they're rated X or PG? So you gotta be real careful when you hire us. You better check the box that says PG-13 or you're gonna get an eyeful.
Got to sign a waiver. An eyeful.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an eyeful of just one person?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So do we have our buddy we got Rockwood coming in today?
Yeah, Jonathon Heslop. He'll be with us from 9 to 9:30.
He's our lighting director.
I know, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And then from 9:30 to 10, you won't want to miss it for people. Dr. Eric Nepute in studio live.
Oh my gosh, it's like a reunion.
I know.
I didn't bring my zinc.
Talking about about how the government came after him, how he beat the government in $1 billion suit.
Did he win?
What he's up to now. And
he won?
And how oh yeah, that's why he's able. Yeah.
He better be bringing lunch.
And what's on the horizon? And he's like, Vic, I'm just telling you, they're trying to kill everybody.
Is that what it is?
No, that's what he says. Something like that.
Who's they? And what kill with what? Like
food?
Like McDonald's?
Chemicals? They being deep state, cabal,
yeah.
New World Order.
Not just McDonald's. No. It better not be Pop-Tarts, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's everything, man.
Yeah.
Anything with high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
In general.
Do we have to sign a waiver that's like the views of Nepute don't necessarily?
No, I back his views.
You do?
We'll put that for you.
Yeah. I feel like I'm really close to January 6 people. No,
stop it.
All right. No, he's super cool. He is super cool. If he brought some ivermectin, that'd be good as well.
I'd never known anybody that was sued for over $1 billion by the government and won.
Yeah. Is he?
I'm convinced he's the reason why I never got COVID, and I tested like 8 times. Never freaking got it. Yeah. COVID was nowhere near me. Vitamin D, zinc.
I can concur with that same knowledge that it's the same exact stuff that he talks, that I have not been sick since I started following.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got a double dose of Eric's today.
I got it like multiple times. Like I have all the variants inside of me. But I'm okay
I want this variant. I want that variant.
I don't know why I'm okay with it.
To you, Paul and Tanya and Paul and Greg and Karen Mendy.
I've had it before. I've had it twice, 3 times.
But just didn't mess with you.
But since I started doing the things that, he'll talk about today, hopefully.
Well, we all did. Seriously. Ivermectin, vitamin zinc, vitamin D.
And you still got it?
Yeah. I don't think that it keeps you from getting it. I think it keeps you from getting into that weird cytokine storm, or however you say it.
There are things that you can do that'll strengthen your immune system to help you out.
Yeah. Like every now and then someone in the band will say, well, I got COVID. And they're like, oh, sucks to be you. See you Saturday. I mean, they don't even care anymore.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's my mentality with it as well.
Yeah.
Not to say that there shouldn't be a lot of people out there scared of it. If you're not taking care of your health or your immune system, you should be scared.
But then that would be 90% of the population being in fear of something.
Well,
because you have maybe a small fraction going to the gym and eating bananas every day.
You don't have to be in fear, though.
You don't have to, of course.
If you're taking care of your body, you shouldn't be in fear at all.
Joe, we could go ahead and start My Brother from Another Radio Mother. Is that good?
It works.
good morning to everybody. Welcome to Cancel This. Good morning to our crew that's jumping in on the podcast platform. Good morning, Mitch. Good morning, Cindy. Hello, Megan Courtney. I talked to Megan this morning. Hello, Paul and Jamie and Donna. This is Cancel This, canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret. She's on a little vacay right now. We'll talk to her about her little vacay on Monday. Her and her hubby got out of town for a few days.
Good for her.
Yeah, he had some great news. We'll talk about that on Monday, too.
He won a lawsuit as well?
No, he went bigger than a lawsuit.
Oh, did he?
He didn't have to go through all the hell of a lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
No. He did some good things.
He
Business-wise. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk to Megan and see if we can talk about that.
Okay.
Megan just wanted me to we can do that on Monday about where she's at.
I like it.
She's on the East Coast, though. We'll tell you that afterwards.
Okay.
So we'll get to that. But anyway.
I hate hot teases, by the way. Just get to the
we are
point.
ready to rock and roll. She's probably listening this morning. Vic Faust here. So filling in, we've got Eric Johnson, of course, as always. Eric, so good to see you.
Thank you.
2 weeks in a row. Jonathon Heslop joining us today as well, our good friend. He is the owner of the best charcoal in America, Rockwood Charcoal. Breaks apart in your hand.
That's right.
The real charcoal. And Capriati's, the best sandwich shop you're going to find, most original throughout the St. Louis area. I can tell you this, you're not going to find anything else that is like that, as they roast
I've had it.
turkeys every night, slice and dice them the next morning, put them in a variety of options.
It doesn't suck.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But
It is.
your biggest job is, would we call you the official lighting director for the band Platinum Rock Legends?
It's going to be a big weekend.
What do you guys got going on this weekend? Lake?
Friday night at Defiance Winery.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night at in Casey, Illinois, which is out east of Effingham.
Oh,
is it that far out?
Yeah, it's a ways. You got to get on the schedule.
Okay.
You got to take a look at that.
Yeah.
anything
I
Saturday?
never do.
Eric's just anything going on Saturday?
Yeah, we're playing in KC, Illinois, apparently.
Oh, it's in Illinois.
It's called the Popcorn Festival.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
How far away from the St. Louis area?
It's east of Effingham, so it's probably about 90
Oh,
minutes from
man.
downtown.
Okay.
And then that's also home of the world's largest rocking chair. There, they have the world's there's like 3 world's largest there,
and the world's largest rocking band.
Yeah,
Hello.
baby. Platinum Rock Legends. So we're ready to rock and roll today. Lots to get to. Also, coming up at 9:30, Dr. Eric Nepute. He took on the government. He won. He is back now. He is kicking ass as he always has. The best chiropractor DO you're going to find. He has a new podcast that we produce out of the show here called Pep Talk. He'll talk about that. And he's also going to preview, unfortunately, some of the things that are out there. I know a lot of people go, oh my God, something's going to hit the 2024 elections coming up.
Monkeypox.
So he'll break all that stuff down as well. But Jonathon, we wanted to bring you in studio first. Remind everybody about your 2 companies before we jump in and talk about gangs in Colorado.
Oh my Lord. Yeah.
Wow.
So Rockwood Charcoal, it's been around, started at 11 years now ago. And it was it's
11 years.
11 years. Number 1 consumer ranked charcoal in the country for 10 of those years. Sell it in 5,000 locations all over the country, about 120 here in St. Louis. And then also Capriati's, which is sandwich shop
Brand
in the
new.
Rock.
It's the only one in St. Louis.
The only
right?
one in St. Louis. Nearest ones are in Indianapolis. My son and I went up to the one in Chicago when we were up there last week, 2 weeks ago rather, and visited that one. So yeah, we've got the only one in St. Louis.
Nice.
We roast those turkeys overnight. We do American Wagyu beef from Snake River Farms. You're not going to find better ingredients.
What kind of comments are you getting from people and hearing about? Because people are still learning, right? It takes a while to break into the St. Louis
It's
area.
great. Yeah, we get a lot of great feedback on Google, Yelp, and our own internal surveys. The problem is that for out of 100 people that come in there, 95 of them or whatever, they have a good experience. You might get a 4 of them that say good things, but that one guy that has a bad experience, whether or not it was our fault or not, is going to make noise about it. So it's tough to kind of gauge because you just don't hear enough good things for the one bad thing.
Isn't
that
that
ever
the
happens.
truth?
It
That
is the truth.
Wait a minute.
No,
It's like because there's this Taco Bell in Wentzville that sucks so bad that the only thing I want to do is get online and just rip them on Yelp. I'm like, how many places can I go? Facebook, Yelp, blah, blah, blah. I got to let the world know not to come here. But if it's a good experience, you're like, well, I expect that.
So you're one of those
yeah.
guys?
Yeah. No. I want to when I'm sitting in the drive-through line and there's no movement for an hour. I'm like, I have to call somebody.
Yeah. And it is so important.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
It's so important that you go and you leave good feedback for any business that you do business with, whether it be your doctor, your restaurants to go to, your barber, whatever it is. Let the world know, because there are people out there that you cross them on the wrong day and they want to take you burn your.
But you got to check
place
this.
down.
You got to go to Capriati's, because St. Louis has a myriad of great restaurants, right? But we're sick of them all. And this is one of those places. It's like that destination kind of thing.
We get so many people that are coming in that have had it on the East Coast, where they grew up in the East Coast or they grew up in Las Vegas, and they walk in and they see the sign and they go, oh my God, it's finally here.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. I got tired of waiting for it. I had it 20 years ago in Las Vegas when I was out there at the helicopter convention, and I was poor. I didn't have a job, and I was looking for something good that was a good price, and wandered in there. And for 20 years, I waited for it to get to St. Louis.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m., right?
Every day, 9 a.m. to 9
That's
p.m.
big. Lots of hours right there. Well, guys, thanks for coming in to cancelthisshow.com. Excuse me, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 10 a.m. Central, but you can catch our content every day on all the social media platforms that we're on. Okay, big story right out of the gate. It's been brewing for a week. Aurora, Colorado. You've seen headlines. Maybe you haven't. TV reports. Venezuelan gangs taking over certain apartment complexes. M13, nasty gang when it comes from Venezuela, taking over apartment complexes. It got so the local news actually did a story on this.
Why wouldn't they?
No, you just never, because local news sucks.
But Aurora's like,
they don't have their thumbprint on real stories. They just don't.
You could think about it. Yeah, they do. Did you see the video of this?
Yeah, well, I wanted to play the news story first, and then we've got video.
It's crazy.
Crazy video. Dressing up like Amazon workers.
No.
And video of guys with guns.
Yes, that's the one.
Here, check out the news story first.
Tonight, we are following up on the city of Aurora's plans to close an apartment complex that houses a large population of new immigrants. And they're closing it because of code violations. Some believe, though, there's more to the story. They say it involves a South American gang. Denver 7's Brandon Richards shows us how city officials are responding to those accusations.
Well, if you've been on social media here in the last couple of weeks, you may have seen a lot of information being shared about a Venezuelan gang that people say is causing all kinds of problems in Aurora. Well, this morning we learned APD has set up a task force to look into those allegations. The city of Aurora says it's closing this apartment complex near Colfax and Peoria due to a long list of code violations going back years.
We are not buying this.
Aurora City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky and some of her colleagues believe there's more to the story.
We believe that, yes, there are code violations, but this started because of a gang takeover. That's what we believe.
The company that manages the site says the same thing, that a gang from Venezuela had taken over the property, making it too dangerous for their staff to be there. Aurora police have not said whether those claims are true, but say they are investigating.
I know it's been shootings here, but it's not because of people from here. It's people from other places that comes here looking for problems.
Residents at the complex told us no manager has been on site for a while.
We've been trying to get in touch with the manager. He quit, and we have no manager.
At a public safety meeting Thursday, Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman once again pointed to code violations as the reason the city was closing the complex.
It's not code violations.
I know that the owners are talking about that it's a gang issue. It's really the problems there go way back.
On top of creating a task force to look into alleged gang activity, Aurora police say they've also started reviewing criminal reports from the past year to see if they were gang related.
So we're actively looking at those things right now in conjunction with the task force, our federal and state partners also.
Councilwoman Jurinsky says it's long overdue.
I think it's coming maybe 6 to 8 months too late. But I hope that we are able to track some of these people down.
But she hopes it will finally provide some answers. In Aurora, Brandon Richard.
This is Biden and Harris's fault. Period.
Oh, yeah, it is.
This is people that this is any administration that decided that the border should be open without any ramifications. It's like it's like a strainer. It's like a strainer. You put a bunch of good stuff in a strainer, but there's bound to be bad stuff that comes through. And that's what you're seeing right here. There's no vetting of these people coming across the border. It is completely bullshit that they're closing it down because they have too many roaches in an apartment or whatever, and that's being blithed or whatever. No, this is because it is being taken over by some of the most dangerous gangs in this hemisphere. Period. Discussion over. But the damn leadership, who is all Democrat in Colorado, you've been to Colorado. It's not. They think a lot about, you know, just open smoking pot on the ski lifts out there. Well, that translates into local government mentality. They don't want to say, we need to put the ATF in here and the DEI. We need to get some military forces in here to take care of this. They don't want to say that. They just want to go, oh, look, the windows are all screwed up, so we got to close down the. It's going to be used by Venezuelan gangs for the foreseeable future. I'm sorry, it is.
I think about residents. I think about business owners, Jonathan, because we can talk about as we show video. I mean, look at this next piece of video. Amazon, fake workers going into homes, dressing up. Look at this video. Look what they do. They put the Amazon vest on. They knock on doors.
Jeez.
They pose as American workers, and then they break in. For our listeners on the podcast, showing video of 3 fake Amazon workers busting into a home. That one captured on Ring video.
Why does this not?
But that's not the worst.
My question is, why does this not absolutely piss off the American people? Why? How can you? When I say that the American people, to me, feel a little bit misinformed, I mean it. It's like, how can you look at Biden and this Tim Walz guy and go, oh yeah, we got to vote for that again? Well, how? It's like going to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and ordering a steak and it's moldy, and then you have asparagus on the side. You go, oh, this is the worst dinner I've ever had in my life. Here, let me have another one. It doesn't make sense to me. This is not the product of Trump. This isn't even really the product of Obama so much. This is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
And that's not a bad area, too bad of an area out there in Denver, because I know exactly where this is.
So do I.
Said Colfax in Aurora area. It's just north of Cherry Creek.
It's like St. Charles, Missouri.
Yeah,
it's like St. Charles, Missouri. It's coming to a community near you.
It was only a matter of time, and we've told people it was only a matter of time before this happens. You bring in this 11 to 20 million illegals. Yeah. You're going to have the strainer effect that Eric talks about. Yeah, most may be kind, nice, sweet. We're given the benefit of the doubt, but it only takes a handful of bad to ruin a whole lot of lives. And if you think this is the worst, it's not the worst. It's going to get worse. And that's why you have to have some sort of plan in place.
Yeah.
Case in point, more video. Aurora, Colorado. Look at Venezuelan gang members with guns right now in this video that we're showing for our podcast listeners, showing video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gang members with serious guns going into homes, taking over homes. And here's the other point about that. They've gone into Target stores. They've taken over Target stores. And not just Target. You have police and politicians calling citizens to try to get help. Identify. They're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Hell no, we're not going to cooperate.
No. Because you can't, because
once the whole snitching thing.
Once you cooperate, you are now blacklisted with these gangs, and you are gone. You're done. You think you were done back in the old days of the street wars in Chicago? No. These guys will get you, and they won't just take you out. Apparently, you're gonna get tortured and then killed.
Well, it's not just individuals; it's entire families, just like the
entire families,
just like the gang warfare for Mexico and cartels. But once again, this is Kamala Harris, the border czar, which we have already shown you time and time again. It was her job. She didn't do it. They'll try to say, well, she really wasn't the border. No, we've shown you the videos. We've shown you the excerpts from the newspapers. We've shown you her accepting it and then not doing anything. If you want to think that Kamala Harris is all of a sudden going to say, well, I'm going to lower prices. I'm going to do everything that Trump wants to do. Now, by the way, she's changed everything.
No,
now she says, oh, I want a border wall now. Oh, I don't want to tax tips everything. I don't want EV anymore. She's taking Trump's policies to try to get elected.
She's the opposite of shutting it down.
It's her responsibility.
There's policies that she subscribes to now, $100,000 of first-time homeowner money in California, right?
Yeah, that's another story. Bring it up. $150,000 for illegals for new homes.
Yeah, if that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it. Nothing will do it. Because it's like, you know, you're a pilot, I'm a pilot. You don't look at what's right in front of you. You look at what's 10 miles in front of you, and then you make your decisions. Well, the 10 miles in front of this country right now, we're already in the clouds. Yeah. It is, if you want to turn this around so you don't have gangs in St. Charles, Missouri, or whatever that this administration is bringing, you better start pulling up, pushing down, or turning to the right or left, because we are in some serious trouble. Aurora with assault rifles at the door, and there aren't 14 cops showing up for this thing. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And what I also heard is the gang members in Venezuela are saying, don't worry about the cops. If they come after you, take a shot at them.
Well, gang members have been given permission to shoot at police by quote leaders in other countries. Shoot at police. It does not matter.
So they're starting a war with law enforcement here in the country.
Absolutely.
And it's just the beginning.
Well, then law enforcement's scared to engage with them because then they're going to get an event like Ferguson happens.
Well, but
no, I don't think it would be the same thing anymore. I think that people are very polarized. You're right. Half the country might see it that way. Yeah. There's another half of the country that are like, good, take them out. You know, I'm sorry. There just is.
We told everybody over a year ago, and that's why we talked about the illegals coming into this country and the border situation every day for over a year, because we told you it was going to happen. Even FBI Director Chris Wray warned people, October 7th, what happened in the Middle East, it could happen here. We're like, it happens on your watch. You guys are responsible, but that's not it. Now we get word that 2 San Diego County school buses were hijacked by illegals at bus stops where kids are. They have taken over San Diego County. So what is happening now? The school district, by the way, for anybody that knows that area, it's Jamul, Jamul, Jamul Derzura Union District. It's on Highway 94. They have literally issued a statement to parents and bus drivers. Quote, if a school bus encounters a group of migrants at a stop, they say migrants, we say illegals, it won't stop. That will leave students unattended.
Yep.
It's not going to stop. They're not going to put their quote bus drivers in any serious danger or their buses. This is San Diego County. Yeah. I was in San Diego for 4 days this last weekend with my girlfriend, and I can tell you this much. It blew my freaking mind. I didn't see any issues, any problems.
Yeah.
Maybe I was in a nicer area. But to think about school buses, your kids out there, once again, where's Kamala? Where's Joe?
Yeah.
Where is everybody? Guess where Joe is? We found Joe. Joe is the most vacationed president in the history of the country. Guess where Joe has been the last few days yet again? There's Joe. For our podcast listeners, Joe is on a beach. The president, by the way, he still is the president. But there's so many damn Americans, Democrats. Shame on you, and shame on the Democratic politicians. There he is. Joe sitting on a beach again. Another vacation. He gave up. He gave up a long time ago.
Yeah, he did.
Nobody's running the country that we know of.
They gave him up. Trust me.
Well, they did give him up.
This was like, Joe, if you step down now, you win an all expense paid vacation to first California. And then you get to go to Rehoboth Beach and then sit out.
And you get to pardon your son.
Yeah, then you get bingo.
That's the big thing.
Then you get to pardon your son. So they played the prices right with this guy. Or whatever that is.
He's on another damn vacation.
But Vic, he's not. He is being told, look, this is smart. You cannot have Kamala Harris in the vice president office doing her job during her big rollout. She's already screwed it up so bad by not taking one legitimate interview that tonight the pressure is so hardcore on this girl. If she says anything that's mishy mouth, or if it looks like this Tim Walz guy behind her is his nanny, she's in trouble. She's already screwed this up. But if she kills this thing tonight and Dana Bash helps her out and she looks like she should be on some afternoon talk show like The View or something, then her points are going to go up 5 tonight. I'm telling you, this is such a pivotal moment for her.
It is.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
Okay. she's finally speaking tonight, which is what Eric's talking about. Kamala Harris has her first interview, which is sad. I mean, we're over post 30 days. I think it's taped.
It is.
And she's got Tim Walz with her as well.
It's so stupid.
And it doesn't start until I think 8 o'clock Eastern or 9 o'clock Eastern.
Mm-hmm. Going into it's Labor Day.
Yes.
Going into a Labor Day weekend.
Nobody's watching. Nobody's caring.
No.
Joe Biden's not, he's nowhere to be found in an office working. He's on the beach. All of this shit is continuing. Where are people awake? Now, there's a lot of Americans who are awake. We're awake. Our listeners, our viewers are awake. I think more Americans are awake, but we're still dealing with all of this crap.
Yeah. Do you remember Obama? As much as you might,
he's still around.
As much as you might not like Obama, he was always looking for a microphone back in the day. If there was,
he still is.
If there was a guy that said, "I'm with a ABC out of Cincinnati," he'd be like, "Oh, how are you doing? Come over here. Let's talk about things for a while."
And he was fantastic at it.
And he was great at it.
Bill Clinton was too. I mean,
and Bill Clinton
both
was
of those guys.
Fantastic.
I mean, I don't agree with anything that they ever did, but I would love to meet both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be.
You'd love to meet Obama?
Absolutely.
Just for the charisma.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just see the mannerisms, see the charisma. Absolutely.
Dude, he comes across
I've seen enough.
He comes across like the guy you'd want to go play darts with at some sports bar.
That's the last thing he is.
I would love to talk NBA basketball with him. I mean,
it could be completely fake, which it probably is, but
I'd like to go power lift with Michael.
Oh. What's wrong with
I want to check out the size of those arms and shoulders for real, Michael. Big Mike. I'd rather spend time with Big Mike than Obama.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back, I mean, that's everything that they said about Joe Biden 8 years ago, 12 years ago, when he was Uncle Joe, the vice president under Obama. Everybody talked about what a cool guy to go have a beer with, whatever. And you can see just the decline.
Yes.
Nobody wants to hang out with him now.
The master class that they give day in and day out marketing their stuff is just
you're right, Eric. It is.
Unbelievable. I mean, they have a PR department. They do have a daily memo, I'm convinced of it, that says you will only use these terms in interviews.
Sure.
And it goes across the entire Democratic Party. It does. Like weird. Remember when that whole weird thing? Everybody was using the word Trump is weird. Well, it's just weird. It's like, how do you come up with that on your own? Well, you don't. There's some office on this planet somewhere that says
today's the talking point for this.
It's the Democratic newsletter. I'd love to have a copy of that.
You get a copy in national media every day. State-run media shows you every effing day what they do.
Good point.
They've controlled the messaging, which is why Kamala Harris is allegedly winning or equal with Donald Trump in polling. Thank God
she is.
But Trump,
believe that. I don't believe that.
I don't believe it. I don't
Seriously?
believe it. Because you don't go from being the worst, most unpopular vice president in the history of the country, and in 5 weeks, you're the leading president in polling. No.
But you do when you tell your sheep that's who they're going to honor.
But that means that people would have had to have changed from Trump to her, and I don't think that happened. If they're legitimately getting those numbers, they're polling Democrats or hard polling areas of Democrats. They're not doing
I don't
it fair.
know, man.
No way.
To be fair, I know of only one person that is a hardcore Kamala Harris fan. One person out of all the people that I know. Even if they're like, I don't get into politics, they don't go, but that Kamala chick, I like her.
It's because they don't like Donald Trump.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
Maybe that's it.
I mean, have you seen any yard signs that say Harris Walz?
I haven't.
But then again, I've seen one bumper sticker.
I don't get to Ladue or Chesterfield very often either, so I don't know. Maybe they're over there.
Well,
they're all over the freaking place.
I'm downtown every day, downtown and everywhere in between, and I've seen one bumper sticker for Harris Walz so far.
Don't get confused. And if you see the polling, just damn it, believe it.
No, I don't believe it. I
just
don't
believe it.
No, I don't. I don't.
You
believe
have
it.
to.
No, I
have to.
No.
That's all you got right now.
You know what I believe? I believe the Kelsey brothers got $100 million for their podcast show, more than they ever made in their football careers. They got $100 million. That's what I believe.
Well, guess what? They deserve it. They deserve it.
And you know,
because they're dating. Both of them are dating Taylor Swift.
Oh, speaking of Taylor Swift, her fans have gone after Brittany Mahomes.
Why?
Because Brittany Mahomes has shown support for Donald Trump. I know,
but
I have a newfound love for Brittany Mahomes.
I know.
Didn't Taylor Swift also sue the Swifties for Trump thing, like the cease and desist?
Well, using her name.
Yeah. Well, it was Swifties for Swifties for the right or right Swifties or Swifties for Trump or something of that nature.
But you can have a Swifties for Biden and that's cool
because that's who she supports. Now she hasn't gone public with it yet. She hasn't really put it in anybody's face. All Mahomes did was like the 2024 presidential platform that Trump was running on. And then, the Swifties are everywhere. I love Brittany Mahomes.
Oh my God.
And I'm glad she didn't run and hide from it.
No, yeah, she doubled down.
She's like, when can't we agree to disagree?
Is Mahomes a Trump supporter?
Hell yeah, he is.
Is he?
Eric, why did you?
That makes no sense.
Yes, it does. Patrick is a Republican because of the same thing that brought you into the conservative
money,
taxes,
money. Okay, so then how
taxes, business?
Is Travis Kelce a Democrat because of Taylor Swift? Then
I don't know.
I mean, at some point you got to go. I'm with
Taylor
Swift.
Not so sure
he was getting that Pfizer money, so that's why
he's.
These are legitimate questions.
Kelce is a money man. He's saying whatever he needs to say to make
these
money.
are legitimate questions.
He's kind of like Kamala. He'll say whatever he needs to say to get what he wants.
Wow. So if he was to go out with Danica Patrick next, would he become a Republican or something?
No, who knows? Maybe.
I'm asking legitimate. Where the hell is our boy? To go and find out. I'm not going to say his name again because you always get pissed off at me.
Elliot's retired. He's jumping out of helicopters.
You know what? This might be a perfect job for Elliot Davis, like a side gig or something.
Logan says Kelce isn't a Dem. He wants that check. That's what I was saying. I agree.
I got to know.
In the locker room, those guys are all probably laughing their asses off.
But the field goal kicker just got a new deal out of
Harrison Butker.
He just got a brand new deal. He's the best kicker in the NFL.
And he's the highest paid kicker in the NFL.
Yes.
After he went viral for his comments.
I can't figure any of this stuff out anymore.
No, Eric, it's all about the cash, baby.
Yeah,
it's
but there's cash on both sides now.
Yeah,
you can be you can be a Trump casher or you can be a Taylor Swift casher.
They're conservative. I'm telling you, they're conservative. I respect Brittany Mahomes, and she should have a right to click like on a platform for Donald Trump.
You know what I was thinking?
Without one of her besties fans going after her.
She doesn't have that right. Absolutely.
And I think
not.
Taylor Swift actually came out and said something in defense of Brittany. I don't have it in front of me, but I think she said people should be allowed to vote for or like who they want to like.
Boy,
and they hang out. Taylor
you wouldn't get that from Madonna. That's for damn sure.
Well, I've always thought in Hollywood there, all of those actors, the reason that they affiliate with who they do is because they represent it. They want the money, and they're good at what they're doing. They're acting. Yeah. Of that is acting.
You get blackballed in Hollywood, you might as well move out of the city. You might as well move out of the state. You're done. If you do something against the family, then you are absolutely cooked. You are. So I get it. It's a business, but once you've made enough money in your business, you should be able to leave and say, no. I am completely for the Republic. I'm conserving the best country. When you think conservative, think this. I want to conserve the best country that's ever been built.
Well, even now, they're going after Robert Kennedy's wife, Cheryl Hines, who was in Curb Your Enthusiasm, and what was other shows was she? Was she West Wing? I'm trying to remember.
Probably.
But they're going after her for not condemning her husband for endorsing President Trump. And
but that's the Kennedys. That would be like I don't know, Peyton Manning endorsing the Kansas City Chiefs and saying I love the Chiefs instead of talking about the Colts.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. But it is. There's a visceral reaction. It's like this. Here's if you're from St. Louis, Missouri, you know what I'm talking about. It's like trying to say something good about the Cubs. You can't do it. Or in the old days, it was like the Blues saying something good about the Blackhawks. If you're a Blues fan, you'll get killed.
Before we say goodbye to Jonathon, Cheryl Hines is the lead singer of the Pretenders. I don't know why that came up. Why was that
middle of the road?
You mentioned Jonathon mentioned Cheryl Hines.
Oh, okay.
He mentioned that she was on a couple of shows.
Yeah,
and she's also like an '80s band lead singer.
Oh, okay. I didn't even hear you say Cheryl Hines.
Yeah, that's who Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is married to.
Oh, that's
She's an actress,
right.
and she didn't condemn him for it. So all the actors are going after her for not condemning her husband.
But see, that's how the Democrats run. They are army ants. They're army ants. They're red attack army ants. If one will not do anything to you, but a million will.
And if the Republicans stuck together like that, then
Chrissy,
it wouldn't.
Cheryl.
Chrissy Hines, right?
Yeah, Chrissy Hines. Yeah. Somebody, thank you, Chet.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Middle of the road, maybe one of the best songs ever written.
before we let you go, tell us all again about Rockwood Capriati's. Jonathon Heslop, one of our great friends of the show, backs all kinds of conservative causes throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Just a damn good dad and husband and good dude.
Thank you. And lighting director, right?
And lighting director.
Dude, you got it.
Rock legends.
And he dresses like us as well.
Yeah.
So if you don't recognize him at a show, it's because he's dressed.
Did you see me on keyboard the other day?
No.
You didn't hear me on keyboard?
Wait, what?
Three keys.
Stop it.
3 keys.
For real?
A G, an F sharp, and then a D.
A G, F sharp, and that is a very dissonant chord right there. What was the song?
It was still in the middle of Still of the Night.
You were actually playing it?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Remind people about your business.
Sorry. That's not important. PRL stuff.
Well, we got Dr. Art Nepute coming up. I'm sorry.
I don't want to delay him. He's a good guy. Yeah, so Rockwood Chalk, you can find it anywhere around St. Louis, or don't buy it online. Please don't buy it online.
I know I've been promoting you, and I said it sometimes.
Yeah,
sorry.
You can see it. You can see it on the website. Same deal at Capriati's.
What about people? We have listeners all over the country, though, and your product is all over the country.
Yeah, Ace Hardware is the place to buy it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got to put that.
Ace Hardware. Go to the Ace Hardware. If you can't, if you don't have one near you, then at last resort, you can buy it online. Don't buy it on Amazon. Buy it on our website. Yes, sir. And then Capriati's got them all over the country, but I own the one here in St. Louis. It's doing good. Come over to McKnight, Manchester, any day of the week between 9 and 9.
Yes.
Good stuff. Official caterer of the
French fries are to die for.
Official caterer of Platinum Rock Legends as well.
No doubt about that.
I love it.
And I wish you were going to stick around because I need to know what happened at the party last night.
You missed band practice.
That's an off-air topic. There you go.
Man,
we'll talk about it.
There's a lot of reasons I need to know.
Well, if you want to stick around, he can tell you. He'll be done in 30 minutes.
Okay.
All right, Jonathon Heslop, thanks for coming in the studio, my friend. We appreciate it. This is cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Eric Johnson, Megan Marie Moret is on a little vacay for a couple days. She'll be back on Monday. Of course, Projo in the house, making everything go and as smooth as it possibly can. Okay. Dr. Eric Nepute coming up in like 1 minute, 2 minutes. Where are you going, Eric?
I'll be right back.
What the hell? Everybody's taking off. All right. In other news, Dr. Eric Nepute coming up. We'll set the stage for him in just a second. Another interesting thing when it comes from a St. Louis standpoint, which I absolutely love, and the name of the show is Cancel This. St. Louis's own Nikki Glazer. She had her own reality TV show. It went very well. She's super, super funny, super talented. Then she was outstanding when it came to the Tom Brady roast. She was really good. If not the best comedian at that roast, one of the best. Now she is going to be a Golden Globes host, which I think is freaking phenomenal. And she's already saying, get ready. I'm not worried about my jokes offending anybody. She says, I'm probably going to get canceled for my jokes. And that's something that the show has always been against, is getting canceled. So in recent years, the Globes have made headlines. Of course, they've had plenty of hosts who've tried to be funny and tried to go after Hollywood, who can't ever make a joke about. But she says, quote, I am absolutely thrilled to be hosting the Golden Globes. It's one of my favorite nights of television. Now I get a front row seat. I think I have to host from the stage, though. So she is all excited about it, but she is a little worried, not totally worried, but a little worried that she's going to be in a situation where she gets canceled because of her jokes. So with that being said, Nikki Glazer, shout out to you being from the St. Louis area. This is cancelthisshow.com. We're here Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, she'll be back Monday. Projo in the house as well. Eric Johnson always comes in, our good friend to fill in. Kelly Mano when she possibly can as well. One of my favorite people in the entire world, and that's a big, 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 big statement, is Dr. Eric Nepute. The reason being is because I learned a lot from Eric, and I give him credit. I was tested at least 8 times back during the COVID days, never received COVID once, never got a positive test from COVID once. And I was convinced it was because of a Dr. Eric Nepute platform to follow. Zinc. I took my vitamin D. I did everything that Dr. Nepute told me to do. Well, people who know Dr. Nepute understand that he was attacked by the government. He is alive. He is well. He is sitting in studio with us. I think he's doing better than ever. We want to get him back in studio, and also to promote his company, BioLimitless, and his new podcast show called Pep Talk. And he's just a good all-around dude. Dr. Eric Nepute, good to have you in studio, my friend.
Vic, it's great to be with
You don't have any scars on your face. You're all right after dealing with the government.
Oh man, they're all internal.
I'd hate to see them.
You know what, Vic? What a crazy world we live in, right? You know, what's interesting is it's funny how common sense is not that common in the world today. And then when individuals do come out with common sense conversations, it's interesting how, you know, the governments and other regulatory agencies of the world like to play whack-a-mole with those folks. So I don't know what to say other than here we are. Life is good. It's amazing. We've helped lots of people. We're going to continue to help lots of people. And yeah, man, it's all good.
What did they sue you for?
So I got sued.
I just remember seeing $1 billion.
No. $508 billion. Let's relive. Yeah, Eric, I got something for you. So listen, I'll tell you guys the whole thing. Okay. Which, by the way, interestingly enough, the government's now partnering with me on several of my projects.
Nice.
Now I've got governments across the globe that are now wanting us to do, you know, healthcare plans for them because what we do works and it saves money. But here's what happened. So at the beginning of COVID, you guys remember I had, 30 practices at the time. Was part owner of a hospital system. Remember. Yeah, part owner of a surgical center system. So I had a big healthcare.
We had thousands of people that would join us when Nepute would come on.
Yeah, for that 30 minutes, right? I know. You guys, I'll send you my marketing bills for that. But anyway, listen. So when there was no solutions for COVID, we said, well, let's just work on getting people healthy because that's all I focus on. I don't treat diseases anyway. I treat people who have diseases and they get better. That's what happens. It's pretty common sense. And so they sued me for violating something called the COVID Consumer Protection Act. Nobody even knew what that was. Neither did our lawyers, neither did the judge. It was a made-up thing that they came after us for, which, by the way, they came after us for that. And basically what they said was anybody who used fraud during COVID to promote or market fraudulent material, like, I don't know, COVID vaccines, PCR tests, all the stuff that we now know is completely BS to a level that most people still can't have trouble fathoming. The government went after. I was the only person ever in the history of the world they came after for this, ever.
Well, because you were so, I mean, I remember you were huge.
Well, I don't know if I'd go was. I mean, I still pretty
No.
am.
I'm just remembering back in the day. I can only speak
Eric,
to that.
the reason why they came after me was for one simple reason.
Ivermectin.
One reason. No, it had nothing to do with ivermectin. When Congress granted the FDA the ability to fast track the vaccines, it was underneath something called the emergency use authorization, which gave a blanket statement for these vaccines and other therapeutics to get pushed through, and trillions of dollars exchanged hands because of that.
Yeah.
There was a 16 checkpoint criteria that had to be met in order for the FDA to be able to fast track Moderna, Pfizer, blah, 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 whatever, to have their deals. One of those check marks on there said there cannot be any type of therapy that could treat, prevent, cure, reverse, or mitigate COVID. So anything. That's why they attacked ivermectin. That's why they attacked vitamin C, D, zinc, steroids. All these things that people were using and working all got attacked. So they came after me to try to make an example out of me for what happens if doctors stand up for their patients and for truth.
Yeah.
Right? That's what happened. And after 3.5 years of fighting him, I spent $5.5 million out of my own pocket.
Wow.
I lost $20 million in revenue from our government. The government gave me 3 options. By the way, they were told multiple times by my judge and other, they forced us into arbitration. I love forced arbitration, by the way. They forced us to arbitrate to talk about a settlement because the judge says this is not going to trial in my court. They flat out, the DOJ was told you can't beat Nepute in a trial. There's no way. There's no way you're going to win.
Yeah.
So the DOJ said a week before trial, which, by the way, they moved my trial 3 times.
Of course they
3
did.
times. And by the way, the first time they did it is because they said they weren't ready to go to trial, but they sued me for $508 billion and they weren't ready to go to trial, but I was. So that got pushed 6 months. The next time it got pushed 6 months, 2 days before it got pushed, a 600,000 person study came out that showed that if your vitamin D is below a 50, you have like a 90% chance of contracting COVID.
Right.
And it was a VA study. So they were like, oh man, that's not going
We're
to go
screwed.
well. Yeah, exactly. And then that pushed it back a third time. They were getting ready to push it back again. And they said, look, we'll give you 3 choices. You can either do a settlement with us right now and get put under a gag order, and we can negotiate your legal fees and etc. But you're under a DOD gag order from now until forever.
Right.
The DOD.
Yeah.
This is who goes to war against other countries.
Yeah.
I gave vitamins to people. Think about this for a minute. So I said, I'm not interested in that. what's option number 2? They said, well, we know we can't win in trial. We're going to go ahead and go to finish this trial. It'll cost you another $2.5 million, probably another 2 years of your life. And when you do win, we're going to put you under a gag order from the DOD. And I said, I don't like that. What's option number 3? Option number 3 is we'll do a full release right now. You have no liability, no admission to guilt. You did nothing wrong. We'll give you letters that say that you've been completely exonerated. You can go live your life and you can tell everybody in the world what happened about this to you during COVID and et cetera. And there's no breaks on anything. And I said, okay, what, but you can't come sue us back for the $5 million you lost or any of the money you lost. Because see, you guys don't understand this because you've never done battle with the federal government.
No.
Did you know that the government has to agree to be sued by you? They have to agree. So I can't just file a lawsuit.
How does that work?
Oh yeah, pretty interesting, huh? So
did Biden put this into play?
This has been in play for a long.
Communist.
This has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
There's something called the Administrative Procedural Act that the government has to abide by. It's basically the buffer between citizens and the government on how they can and can't respond. And they violated my administrative procedural acts with this. By the way, just so you guys know,
my God, Eric.
Just so you guys know, not only has the government tried to partner with me and is partnering with me on some of my other projects now.
Yeah.
Number 2, you guys familiar with the Chevron Act?
No.
Okay, so the Chevron Act was just overturned by the Supreme Court last month. And the Chevron Act was the only reason why the FTC could have came after me in the first place. So now the United States Supreme Court says Chevron is overturned. What that means is these 3-letter alphabet agencies, FDA, FTC, whatever, IRS, whoever, they can't act on their own accord as judge, jury, and trial. They have to go through the proper procedures.
Sure.
Well, the Chevron Act said you don't have to do that. That's why the FTC came right at me, because the way it's supposed to work is they're supposed to send you a letter saying there's a problem. Then you're supposed to have a conversation, and then they're supposed to tell you how to change. Well, they did. They sent me a letter. I called them and said, what do I need to change? What's going on? They said nothing.
Yeah.
They said, just be careful what you're saying. I go, what am I saying that's wrong? They're like, well, do you have studies? I said, yeah, here's 106 of them. They're like, oh, we didn't know there were any. So literally, because of the overturning of the Chevron Act, these guys couldn't have even sued me in the first place if we were in this world.
Is this new?
This, I mean, as a month ago, a month and a half ago.
But I mean, is this new in the government? Because you have the same story with Mark Zuckerberg saying, hey, the government kind of approached me. And
Not kind of. Eric, I was reaching 10 to 15 million people a week on Facebook alone.
Yeah.
They shut down all of those accounts.
So but knowing your story, do you now feel that Facebook and all of them were not in cahoots with the government? They were being told by the government, this is how it's going to be.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. What's different? If you tell me what to do, if I don't agree with it, that's one thing.
But I kind of feel like a company like Facebook would be on the same page with the
Zuckerberg
government.
is a slick liar. He knew exactly what was going on. And now he is like that scared little boy. Oh, I don't know. I just did what I was told to do.
And that's an easy excuse right now because we're getting ready to, well, we should be, but we're seeing a regime change happen right now. And Zuckerberg flat out came out and said, yeah, I was told by the government to shut people down, which we already had that during discovery for my case, that my name was in one of the names of the Twitter files still to this day. If I send out, I have a 2.5 person email list that I've gathered over the last 20 years of business. When I send an email out, if my name is in that email, most carriers will block that because my name is still blocked because of what happened during COVID. I still have trouble getting bank accounts in the United States of America because of that.
Thank God was with you that you beat them, because you just don't beat the government or have the government at their knees, which they did. But it led you into what you're doing now, and you're kicking ass.
Man, what I will tell you, this is truly just, man, I don't know how to say this other than it really is a blessing. And this goes back, I don't want to get biblical, but the book of Ephesians says when there's nothing left to do but stand, you stand therefore. And I was always taught if you stand for the truth, everything's going to work out. Well, it has. Well, 2 weeks literally after we finalized our case with the United States government, global doors have opened. Literally, the U.S. government was like, nah, we want to keep our people fat, sick, and dead, and we want to rape and pillage because, we make our most money off of keeping people fat, sick, and drugged up, and, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But other governments of the world have said, no, we'd really like to put your system into place here because we see that what you're doing saves money, makes more sense, helps people, saves our economy, and it's common sense. So now we're doing work in Europe. I'm doing work in Africa. We're doing work in the Middle East. We're opening up in Japan and Korea. I mean, all over the place, and in the U.S.
Who's we?
So I have a company that, first of all, I've been working on this for about, no joke, 20 years. But the last 4.5, I've been building this parallel ecosystem when it comes to a parallel healthcare delivery system. People have been talking about it for a long time. We need to have different access. How can I look? Healthcare is neither healthy nor care in this country. It's the third leading cause of death.
God,
it's the third leading cause of death
point.
in the United States. Did you know that? Our healthcare system is the third leading cause of death in America. We spend $5 trillion a year on our system. $5 trillion. 2.5 trillion of that money that's spent goes towards, it literally just goes towards bureaucratic spend. It doesn't improve the outcome of patients. It goes to hospitals and insurance companies and etc. 250 billion of that just in the United States alone goes back to kickbacks to HMOs, PPOs, insurance companies, middlemen in the pharmaceutical world. $250 billion. That is a ridiculous amount of money. So we said, all right, the system's broken. What if there was a way that we could create a system of what we call self-care? Because see, even wellness, the whole idea of wellness sounds good, but wellness is owned by Big Pharma, Big Medicine, and the American Medical Association. Wellness now is owned by Walgreens. You go to Walgreens and they give you preventative drugs for wellness. What the hell is that even?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So we say that self-care is real healthcare. And so if we can teach you how to take care of yourself, then you can become a happier, healthier, and ultimately wealthier individual. We've created an organization called BioLimitless, which is learning how to tap into your limitless potential through biology, understanding what health really is, and helping people do this self-discovery process. And by the way, I knew this was a problem in North America. And so when I was lecturing and over the last 12 months, I've been lecturing all over Asia, all over the Middle East, every time I talk to Vic, I'm either in Saudi Arabia,
you're on a plane,
Dubai, Japan, somewhere. And when I go and speak there, it's the same problem they have there as we have here. So we just literally launched this soft launch of our project called BioLimitless. And you can find us all over social media and everywhere. BioLimitless.com, BioLimitless.life. We're everywhere. We already have 5 million people that have signed up to participate in this project. 5 million people since August the 17th. Okay. So it is going gangbusters. So what are we doing? We're creating a direct-to-consumer educational program, a direct-to-consumer place. So you now can start getting real testing at your home that you don't even have to go to a doctor's office to get a lot of this stuff. We're opening up 200 offices, 200 BioLimitless centers of excellence across North America. And our goal over the next 5 years is to do 2,000 of these BioLimitless centers of excellence all over the globe.
I love it.
We have a tremendous amount of funding and government supporting us. It's absolutely amazing.
So there's a few things that I hear. First of all, my son's girlfriend, she's a soccer player in Mykonos, Greece.
Okay, yeah.
And she comes back every 6 months and she goes, we went to dinner the other night and she pudged up a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
She's in America. I go, do you eat any different? She goes, no, when I get back to Greece, the food it's not allowed to have the additives. It's illegal to have the additives that we have in our food here. So what they're saying is it's poison. That's the first thing. So that's case study number one. Case study number two, RFK Jr., is he going to be able to make a dent in this? Because he wants to do the same thing. Bringing healthy foods back to the United States, making it kind of illegal to have a McDonald's with all the additives and all that stuff anymore. Is that ever going to hit the United States, you think?
Well, I would tell you something right now. So I know Bobby. I've known him for a long time. And I'll tell you, we've had some really interesting conversations as of late about what's going on in our world. Did you know, Eric? So you're right. There are 1,000 chemicals, 1,000 that are allowed in our food supply by the FDA and EPA that are illegal in other countries.
Right.
We don't have a calorie problem. We have a chemical problem.
Yes, that's she said she eats exactly the same. Boom. But you go to one country and you lose weight, become healthy. You come to the United States and you are a diabetic mess.
Let me help you with this. Do you know who Philip Morris is?
The smoking king of the world.
Do you know what company they bought about 2 decades ago?
I don't even want to guess.
It's the largest food manufacturing company, period, on the planet. Nesco. Okay. So Philip Morris, when they got hit with the tobacco lawsuit, said, man, we got to diversify. Yeah. So the same scientist that made tobacco and cigarettes addictive, because by the way, tobacco by itself is not addictive. Nicotine by itself is not addictive. 2015 study of Harvard shows nicotine is not addictive. Go look it up. Okay. Those same scientists who figured out how to make cigarettes addictive are now the same scientists who are making your food supply addictive.
Gotcha.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So I was in front of Congress about 6-8 months ago, and they were talking about Operation Moonshot. And they asked me what I thought about Operation Moonshot. And I said, it's very comical to me that you're trying to cure cancer.
Yep.
when you have 1,000 chemicals in our food supply that are known carcinogens.
Yep.
How can you cure something when you're causing the problem in the first place?
Okay, well, I got to figure that one out.
But
hold on, Eric. Let me slow it down for you.
Sock puppets. Go.
The government
exactly
has a program called what did I just say? It was
Moonshot.
It's the operation to cure cancer.
Yeah.
Okay. Through drugs, vaccines,
through
etc.
drugs.
I said, why would you spend all these hundreds of billions of dollars on a drug when the majority of the cancers that you're causing with people are from the chemicals that are allowed in the food supply that are known carcinogens?
Yeah.
If we know that you eat this and it causes cancer, doesn't it make sense to not eat this to not cause cancer? Instead of getting hit by the train, Eric, and getting put back together afterwards, why don't you get off the damn tracks?
That's a good way to look at it.
So slow it down and make it simpler. That's what, and I said, this is the most asinine thing you could possibly think of.
So it's either being done on purpose or it's because you have certain lobbyists who represent companies who want their products in and they can get the money.
Speaking to a friend of mine, he's a PhD MD, used to work at Emory University. Him and his group found an extract of a molecule that cured a lot of types of cancer. When he went and presented that in front of the investigative review board, they said, look, this is great.
Yeah.
But what would happen to our economy if we cured cancer?
Yeah.
Think about that.
And then
for
he
a
was
minute.
killed 2 days later.
No, he quit. He retired right on. He threw his. But I want you to think about
That's
that.
not funny. Eric,
No, I know.
That's happened.
I know.
People have died mysteriously after trying to go after
water
the
powered
government.
engine and cancer. Those are the two.
Hey, I was concerned with my friend Dr. Nepute. I'm just going to tell you.
Well,
I
I'm
was.
protected by Jesus and Smith and Wesson, so
Amen.
I'm not worried about it too bad. But but the reality of it is this. And back to your RFK approach, I agree with what a lot that he's saying from a health standpoint. Look, we have chronic disease now on a level we've never, ever, ever, ever had before. That we've never had. You know, if you go back 50, 60 years ago, you know how many drugs there were for chronic disease? I'll help you. Zero. None. Because there weren't any chronic diseases. Now,
What year?
In 1960.
Okay, so diabetes wasn't a thing. That wasn't.
By the way, there was very rare, and you know what it was called then?
What?
Adult onset diabetes.
Oh, really?
Do you know why? Because only fat old adults would get it.
Okay.
And guess what they call it now? They call it diabetes because 5-year-olds have it.
Yeah.
And it's because of the foods that we eat.
Right.
Damn.
And it's because of lack of education. Without knowledge, our people will
I always
perish.
wondered this. So was there cancers like there are cancers back in the 200 years ago?
Not like there is today. Absolutely
I've
not.
always wondered that, actually. So cancers
And it's not just because media and TV can report it now. It was not there.
Well, think about this. You got, now 60% of the adult population in the world has at least one chronic disease. 40% has two. You got 1 in 6 kids now that have a chronic illness. That never happened before. Even 20 years ago.
Didn't that play into the whole COVID situation too?
Well, you want to know why people are getting sick and dying from flus and colds now? Because they're sick. Because they all have pre-existing conditions.
Exactly.
Your immune system sucks. Their body's not healthy. This is not rocket science. You don't need another damn drug to fix the problem. You need to get people healthy. That's the common sense thing. And that's what, when I wrote this book, Becoming Biolimitless, which you can find it on Amazon, shameless plug right there, which, by the way, is trending #1 in several categories on Amazon because people want to know the truth. So I talked about that. I talked about the history of the healthcare system. Most people don't know that Rockefeller and Carnegie truly started our current system. The last 100 years, we've lost our way. We've got fatter, sicker, and more stress and spent more money.
Yeah.
Why don't we get back to the basics?
Let me ask you this. Is there a cure for cancer? I always hear that when I talk to people, they're like, dude, you don't understand. They have cured cancer. They know how the mechanisms work to cure cancer, but they get killed. The people that understand how to cure cancer, they don't make it, or they get bought out, or whatever the mechanism is. It doesn't make it to the marketplace. Do we know how to cure cancer on this planet?
Okay, so first of all, that's a very broad stroke of a question.
Okay.
So let me help you answer it though.
And before you answer this, I want to make sure, because I want to be cognizant of your time. What time can you stay with us till?
I'll stay as long as you guys need.
Okay, because I'm going to go longer than 10 a.m. today.
Yeah,
despite our marketing team telling us what we need to do for algorithms.
I mean,
I think Nepute breaks algorithms. I just needed to make sure.
I can hang out. I can hang out.
His name right.
I can hang out until 10:30. If that's okay.
We may not go that long, but I just need to make sure you didn't need to race out at 10, because when you try to talk to Doctor, you talk to him, but he's also talking to two other people at the same time.
I
One on a laptop and one on a phone.
Yeah, sorry.
One on a laptop, one on a phone, and one on a satellite phone.
But look, so you want to hear something?
Yeah.
The cause is the cure. The cause is the cure.
Okay, but hold on. Just let's pretend, because stupid people are in this room.
I know.
And you have cancer in your body. Is there a place that person could go to get that cancer cured, reversed, whatever you want to call it? Do we know how to do that? Yes or no?
It's not as simple as that.
Exactly. You want everything packaged
yes,
in a
I
little
do.
bone box.
Yes,
but let
that's
me
what I
tell you
want. That's what I want.
What happens if I say, okay, you have a cancer in your, I don't know, wherever in your body,
Yeah.
and we can remove it,
yeah,
and it doesn't show up on a test anymore.
Okay.
Did we cure that cancer?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
now,
kind of,
okay,
right?
You did in that moment.
Yeah.
Okay. What caused that cancer?
Maybe the sun, maybe smoking, maybe food. I don't know. But yes.
But the cause of that
and
might not have,
genetics. Is there a see that you're right? I've
I
asked
know
too big of a question.
It's 8 to 10% of cancer is genetic.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, Eric, is if you look at most cancers, typically people say, "Hey, we have a 3 to 5 year remission." I mean, and that's that's good, right?
Yeah.
Why does it take 3 to 5 years? If somebody has breast cancer and they cut their breast off and now that breast cancer is gone, why within 3 to 5 years does cancer show up somewhere else, typically in the body?
Because it's in the blood.
Because the cause of the problem was never addressed.
Okay.
So if eating this food right here caused cancer,
and it does say can lead to cancer and other diseases. Isn't that what it says, Joe?
Birth defects and lead.
It says it right on the damn can.
Yeah. They have to have
There's a
warning on there. Yeah.
And the other can in front of you is an older one that has
Kernel
good for
corn.
you, and it basically says all the good things. Like it used to be good.
Should we even eat corn though, Eric?
No.
I mean, does it do anything for us?
Well, it looks for the old Indians back in the old days.
You guys know the food. The food we eat today is not the same as it was then. You know, if you go back and look at the nutritional value of fruits and vegetables today versus 20 years ago, it doesn't have the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in it. That's why if you're not supplementing with the right type of supplement, all supplements are raw materials that your body needs to heal, to work. It's like putting gas in your car.
Yeah.
So anybody that says supplements are wrong is an idiot.
Yeah.
Anybody that says that eating clean food is a bad idea is an idiot.
We've
You
been
shouldn't
getting
listen to
bad
them.
information now for 50 years. That stupid chart, the pyramid with the bread on the bottom of that thing.
Who made that?
The
The
government.
made it, right?
Hold on, wait. But did you know that the food pyramid, when the food pyramid was put out by the United States government, that the advisory team of doctors and scientists said this pyramid is not okay. That many servings of carbohydrates.
Even back then?
Yes.
Really?
It's been documented that the scientist who said the food pyramid is no bueno.
Yeah.
The government put it out anyway because it was marketing, man. Who told you to
Didn't
drink
they
milk?
change it though? Didn't the bottom of that change from bread to something
I
else
don't know, but
recently?
that was an 80s deal. We've
It's
gone
not an
way-
80s deal. No,
It's
they
not
still
still being
teach the
pushed.
food pyramid. Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
they do. I asked
They
my
do.
children about it the other day, and they said, "Yeah, Dad, they're telling us we should have, like 14 servings of whole
Yes.
grains. Whole grains cause diseases
Yes.
in most people.
Yeah.
Stay away from
whole grains
grains.
causes whole cancers. Grains causes whole
Yeah.
problems
Yeah.
in some people.
But
That
it's
have
all about
genetic
money.
issues.
It was all about who the lobbyists were and who they were supporting.
Yeah.
Eric, it's all done
This
at
is
that
a
level.
fascinating book that you need to write.
Well, speaking of books,
Hey,
can
I
you
wrote
promote?
it.
Can you show and explain what BioLimitless is about and hold it up as you're doing? Oh, you got your copy there. I got my copy
so this
too.
is a book called Becoming Biolimitless. This is a labor of love. It's a real simple, easy read. Eric, I put some pictures in here.
As you're
so you can-
talking, I have a book. I have it up.
So
Eric needs
workbook.
simple.
but the whole idea behind Becoming Biolimitless is it really gives people the opportunity to know what health really is.
Mhm.
Like, look, you can't achieve something if you don't know what it is. And so this is a simple book. You can go get it right now. And by the way, it has some of my favorite biohacks in it to lose weight, have better energy, things you can do to improve the quality of your life, how to raise healthy children, explaining what health really is. But
Can I help Eric in the bedroom?
there's a chapter 15. Let's see. Is it chapter
yeah,
14?
Well,
Let's
it's
see.
all of us, Vic.
I know. I'm asking for a friend.
I'll call you late at night
You're
and let you know what I
Oh,
learned.
man. There's no pictures in this chapter, but chapter 15 is let's talk about sex, baby, because sex is a very healthy thing. Look, the problem is we've been intentionally marketed to and lied to, right? And so the problem is when you have common sense conversations like RFK,
Yeah.
what happened to him? He was completely censored. deplatformed,
yeah.
everything. Look at guys like myself. Everything I've said, I've always said, let's have a public discussion about this. Government. Nope, we sure as hell ain't going to do that. Why? Because, by the way, I asked the government for apology.
Yeah.
I asked them for an apology.
How did you ask them though? Like
I asked them and I said, okay, if we're going to do a settlement, I want an apology. I want a written apology.
Yeah.
And you know what they said? We can't give you an apology because it's a threat against national security.
What? Everything is
That's pretty nice how they put that up.
It is.
Because, Eric, if they were wrong about that,
Yeah.
then
What else
people
are they wrong about?
Well, that's the
Correct.
truth. So all I'm saying is I just want people to ask a question. How's this all working out for you?
Yeah.
And if it's working out well for you, keep doing that.
And how do you feel?
Well, I mean,
but I'm afraid, Eric, because I think people get used to how they feel. Because the human body can,
Well, the creepiest
I'm a
thing,
little worn down, but it's not supposed to be that way.
the creepiest thing with Nepute back in the day, for me anyway,
Creepy.
was when the vaccine was coming out and Eric was saying zinc, vitamin D, whatever, and keep your body healthy and you'll be okay. But then he was getting all the pushback again. And I was like, why does the government want us to get stabbed so bad with this vaccine? I couldn't figure that one out.
Because there ain't no money in the cure, brother.
You're just doing healthy stuff. This is like, just go take some vitamins.
At least you didn't go with the flow that time.
Eric, I'm doing my job.
And normally you would, because you're like, oh, this is the normal thing.
No, that one creeped me out when it was like RDNA or whatever they called that thing. I was like, that doesn't sound natural to me. I don't think I want that in my body. But the zinc sounded natural. What was the other some of the other stuff?
Look,
I don't even remember what the ingredients were, but it was something that was
there was 100, there's still to this day, there's 120 studies that shows that if you're deficient in vitamin D, you have an increased risk of all infections.
Yeah.
And there's studies now that shows, by the way, the government said, Dr. Nepute, you can say whatever you want, but don't say vitamin D cures COVID. Well, I never effing said that in the first place because it doesn't do that. But what vitamin D does is it helps your immune system so they can go through the cytokine storm process and modulate how your body works.
Vic, you hear me? I'm smart.
The cytokine storm.
Is there anything you learned? Is there
how much ADD is in this room right now?
A lot. So if you're gonna leave it, I'll take some Adderall when you leave. Was there anything from COVID that you learned that when you step back and you just kind of sitting there late at night going, okay, this ivermectin thing, it didn't work so well. But there's other things that
Who said ivermectin didn't work well?
I didn't. I'm just surmising.
We know it did and does.
Have you ever backed up and gone, if I would have tried a little more of this, did you, like a mad scientist in your concoctions, did you go, this is what I really believe in now that maybe you didn't know back then when we were talking?
No.
So it's all the same.
It's all the same because physiology doesn't change, Eric. Like the human genome and DNA and how our body works hasn't changed in 10,000 years.
Okay.
The truth is the truth. And by the way, with all this other stuff like monkeypox going on and all these other things that are scaring the hell out of people, it's still the same immune system. And the only people that are going to have problems during flu and cold season, monkeypox season, all this other stuff are people that have pre-existing conditions that are eating too many foods like this that are causing their insulin levels to spike and their body's immune system to degrade. Still to this day, do you know, let me ask you a question, Eric. What's the average life expectancy for a man in the United States of America?
I'm going to say something wrong. I'm going to go high, like 87.
Oh, no, wow. 78, 77.
Wow.
Average for a woman, 78, 79. Average age of death from a COVID person in the U.S. Do you know what it was?
They was young, I thought.
No, it was 80, Eric.
No, I thought.
No, it was 80, Eric.
It was 80 years old?
You thought wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. This is the problem.
You're damn right.
But that's a problem. People say stuff all the time. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
But I remember there were young people that were, and the reason I bring it up is
of course young people died.
But we were always talking in this show also about the athletes that they had the.
Please let me make my point.
Okay, go ahead.
If the average life expectancy of a man is 78 years old in America, and the average person who died from COVID is 80, do you understand what the hell are we talking about?
They were pushing their bill of goods on us as the media did over and over and over.
Let me just say this. I truly don't care what people do with their health, as long as they have the freedom to choose and the free will to do it. If you want to get 27 vaccines, man, do it. I have no problem with that.
Nobody wants that.
But Some people
Nobody
do.
wants that.
But if you want to take vitamins, drugs, you want to. Why should somebody else be able to tell you what you can and can't do? And why should somebody censor information that you can and can't learn?
Okay, let me just
Please,
answer that question. The reason that people like vaccines is the same people that overload on insurance. They want to know when they go out of town if their house catches on fire, they're covered. They want to know if they hit a pole, their car's covered. They want to know if they go out of town, they get COVID, their health is covered. And that's part of the problem is we trust our healthcare officials. We trust our government. We trust you come in and kind of throw a weird monkey wrench in that. You know what I'm saying?
Why though? Why do you trust?
Because
why do people trust without asking?
Because it's human nature. It's human nature to say you're the professional.
It's become that way in America, which is why we need to change that, which is exactly what you do.
How's that working out with people?
Exactly.
I get it, dude. I totally get it. But the problem is, it's like what we're going through with this election. Why don't people understand? The polls have the Democrat who has screwed up the economy, who has screwed up the border, who has screwed up getting a house. But they have that person who screwed it all up. She's winning.
No, she's not.
Whether you like to think so or not.
She is not.
Whether you like to think so or not.
We can say bullshit on this channel?
It's bullshit.
Eric tells it like it is. Is she not winning right now?
Look, let me just tell you something.
And she is the
No,
reason.
she's not.
No.
Not if you look at Rasmussen. Not if you look at the polling that are not associated with TV networks. They're not.
It is the cumulative, and I can't even say the word, average of all those polls, and she's winning. And that's how we've done politics polling for the last 100 years.
I'm going to say
everything.
Let me say something.
Last 100 years.
Let me say
in
something.
This election. Everything.
This is really probably going to ruffle a lot of feathers. But I saw somebody make a video one time and said, why would I be a juror? Why I'm just a regular guy. I have no idea how law works. Why don't you hire like professional jurors? Like I don't have enough education to decide this person's fate. Look at me, right? Well, you have to have a certain level of education to make some decisions. The problem is the average American doesn't know what the Constitution says. The average American doesn't understand how civics works in our country. The average American has no idea how the 3-letter agencies work. So how can those people make decisions? And they're making decisions based off of emotions, not off of logic and rational thinking. Because someone on TV they like,
that's what
told
Eric's
them.
saying,
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I understand that.
And that is a big problem.
I think Americans are more awake than you're giving them credit for.
I don't know. I don't think so because I totally subscribe.
I know I'm trying to give him credit.
I appreciate
I subscribe to Eric Nepute's way of thinking after hearing the story of my son's girlfriend going to Greece saying, I lose weight going to Greece. Just that one story
That's
alone.
very commonly known. People do that. They go to Europe, you walk a little more, and you eat better food.
You eat better food.
And
It's
the
not
water,
even just the walk. There's nothing you can do about it.
And the water is better, is what I'm told.
There's a gene called an MTHFR gene. 75% of the population has it. It's a very, very problematic gene. Bottom line is it doesn't allow your body to handle a certain type of chemical called gluten, which is in genetically modified whole grains, which is what 90% of our food supply is in America from a grain. I can't eat that in the US. Most people, when they eat it, they have those problems. They can have thyroid issues, hormonal issues, autoimmune issues, gut issues, depression, anxiety, insomnia, chronic pain, the list goes on.
Okay.
They don't have that in Europe and the Middle East. When I go to Europe and the Middle East, I'm eating bread, pasta, and baguettes till this I'm losing weight doing it. The problem is that, Eric. If we don't have that, then we don't have so much sickness. So if we want to fix the sickness, it's not more drugs, it's not more designer pills, it's not more listening to the WHO, whose job is to manage global pandemics. It's going back to the basic fundamentals of saying, okay, if my body's a house and it's on fire, I need to call the ambulance or the fire department to put the fire out. And they're going to come in, they're going to kick my windows out, kick my doors down, they're going to drench my house, and I'm going to be grateful for it. But I'm not calling the fire department tomorrow to fix the repairs. I'm calling a carpenter.
So let me ask you this.
We need to get back to carpenters understanding what health is really about.
I'm telling Eric, I'm telling you, I'm talking to more and more people who are not trusting common doctors anymore for all of these issues, understanding that they only treat you after the fact. They're not helping you prevent, which is why people like Dr. Nepute and other truly health doctors need to be put on better platforms when it comes to the preventative, because if we have the preventative, we don't need the reactive.
No doubt.
Don't be afraid to tell your doctor no.
Hey, so let me ask you this. All right, let's say you were talking preventative, keeping that shield up. I totally subscribe to that. let's say you get maybe a chronic disease.
10-10, by the way, Dr. Eric.
Let's
5
say
minutes, I gotta go.
let's say
5 minutes. We got 5 minutes, Eric Johnson.
I'm listening.
let's say Lyme's disease.
Yeah. Ooh, I know a lot about
Okay, let me talk about Lyme's disease. If you get Lyme's disease and you go to your doctor, they're like, you can get a little bit of antibiotics. If it doesn't work, you're screwed. You take an aspirin. What would your side of the aisle say to something?
Don't go to that doctor. They're
Okay,
idiots.
no,
They have no
but-
idea what the hell they're talking
But
about.
do you have cures for stuff like Lyme's disease that you acquire that are part of nature? Is there anything you can do for those people? Those are chronic symptoms as well.
There's a tremendous amount that can be done for patients with Lyme's. I will tell you that the vast majority of doctors will tell you that Lyme doesn't even exist, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
Lyme's disease. Why, by the way, could 100 people in a room get bit by the same mosquito or tick, get exposed to the bordella and the spirochete that causes Lyme?
Correct.
And how come 50% have a problem and 50% don't?
Okay.
It's because of their pre-existing issues and their genetic makeup.
Okay.
Okay. Now, that being said, there's a whole process that has to be gone through to help people with Lyme. Lyme disease, just like many other diseases, your body has to integrate that into its microbiome and its microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more to health than just going, take this.
Yeah.
That doesn't work ever. And it never will. Like when you go to GNC or wherever and buy supplements for your eyes, your ears, your nose, that doesn't even work that way.
Right.
So Lyme disease is a complex issue that's an individual based care plan. But typically what you have to do first is you have to kill off the bug and bacteria.
Okay.
But you can't do that until you kill the biome around it. They produce this little protective shield around it.
Yeah.
So you have to kill off this biome. Then you got to kill off the bug and bacteria. Then you got to repair the tissues that's been caused by the damage of the spirochetes and the bordella. Then you got to boost the immune system. There's a whole bunch that can be done for that, but there is no magic bullet for anything.
Yeah.
COVID, cancer, heart disease, whatever. And that's what I wrote in this book. Like, when you think, if you guys think there's going to be a magic pill, potion, solution, whatever, that doesn't exist ever.
Yeah.
So it's all about understanding your own health needs, because your health needs are different than your children's health needs. Like my wife is an identical twin. I ran a genetic profile that we can tell now, how to eat, how to sleep, exercise, supplements take, all these things. Her identical twin sisters was completely different because everybody's so different. And that's why I'm telling you, self-care is real healthcare, but you have to learn what yourself needs. Everybody's different. It can be done though.
Because of a matter of time, and we got to get you out of here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You speak so much about this. You know so much. You spit it out.
Sorry.
No, we love it.
Okay.
How do you feel? Because you know all this, and how difficult is it to actually take care of yourself and do everything that we should be doing as you tell us? And you've been telling us for 40 minutes.
You know that movie Idiocracy?
Yeah, it's a terrific movie.
Man, bro. I tell you, it's like, holy cow, what's going on? Being blissfully ignorant is something that there's days when I wish that I could just turn my brain off. But here's the reality. How do I feel? I feel empowered and excited, but I feel frustrated because I'm trying to explain to people simple solutions they can to overcome the problems and pain points in their life. But most of them, just like Eric, and no offense to Eric or anybody, but everybody wants a simple solution. And there are simple solutions, but they're not the solutions that people want. What if I told you that we could reverse type 2 diabetes at a 90% success rate, but I told you had to change your lifestyle, eat differently, exercise, and take certain vitamins? 75% of the population wouldn't do it.
I agree.
They'd rather be fat, sick, nearly dead, and comfortable, because it's real simple. It's the pain of the change or the pain of the same. And most people are going to have the pain of the same because they're unwilling to do what it takes to change because that's too painful for them to do that.
How do you market that? How do you get that into Gen Z's mind? Because they're the ones that are going to have to do it.
I think it's really asking quality questions, because the quality of the questions you ask is in direct proportion to your life. The question I would ask is, how's that working out for you?
Yeah.
What if you understood that 50% of all bankruptcies that happen globally are from healthcare related issues? And by the way, the vast majority of those people who have healthcare related issues that go bankrupt have health insurance. So they are participating in the system. They're doing everything that the system's telling them to do, but it's not working.
Yeah. Which is why you're never going to get your universal cure for cancer, Eric, because of money.
Before I leave here, let me read one thing. This is really powerful, man. I want you guys to hear this. This is what all insurance in the United States of America is based off of. It's Medicare. Yeah. Medicare is the guidline that sets the standards for all other insurance companies.
Didn't Biden kill Medicare?
No. Medicare's been dead for a long time.
In his debate.
Sorry. I want you to hear this. This is right out of Medicare's guideline. In fact, it's Medicare guideline section 2251-3.
Okay.
Here's what it says. A treatment plan that seeks to prevent disease, promote health, prolong and enhance the quality of life, or a therapy that is performed to maintain or prevent deterioration of a chronic condition is deemed medically unnecessary and therefore not covered by your insurance.
Dear God.
So anything that helps you prevent a disease or promote health, or helps you maintain or prevent deterioration of a chronic problem like Lyme is not medically necessary.
So I hear the Democrats talking a lot about preventative medicine more than the Republicans. Are they on the right track as far as their medical outlook on all of this stuff?
I don't know if that's true, that statement that you just made. You know,
it's the where I hear it the most is from those people.
We hear a lot of things from people in politics that do nothing. And by the way, Republicans and Democrats. The last time I testified in front of Congress, Clay Higgins, congressman from Louisiana, said to me, "You got to be effing kidding me that they sued you for that much for this. Did you spend any money out of your pocket? I'm going to write you a letter. I'm going to get you this." I got hooked up with a whole Republican caucus. Guess what? Zero, zilch, not a damn thing. It's all fugazi. It's all word talk. I don't have any respect for any of those people because, by the way, they're just people like us. And when I was testifying in front of Congress and when I was making the statements about what's happening in our healthcare system, and these guys were looking at me like I was crazy
because they didn't know.
But that's the problem. But they passed the bills that let it happen. How could you possibly pass the bills that let it happen?
Because we
when
know
you don't know what's going on.
Because we know what politics is and what politics has become. It's a business.
So, Eric, to answer your question, I don't participate in those conversations anymore.
Right.
It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of other people's time.
That sucks, but I get it.
I understand that
someone's got to.
That's fine.
It's got to make TikTok. I mean, it's got to be.
You're responsible for your own health, and you got to find people like Dr. Eric Nepute to educate yourself.
We could go. This is a different.
We got to get Doc.
I'll come back some other time.
This is I gotta go.
It's fun hanging with us again, isn't it?
I love hanging out.
Yeah, what happened? You never call. I mean, my gosh. Let me look at my
a $509 billion lawsuit happened.
By the way,
last time I saw him, we
which
were landing a
remind everybody,
helicopter
Dr. Eric Nepute is one of the few who beat the government.
I remember that. That was a good time. Look, I appreciate. I'll come back sometime and hang out when we're not so stressed.
How can people promote, or how can you promote yourself besides the book?
Well, I mean, we have our. You can go to ericnepute.com, ERICNEPUT.com. Go to Bio Limitless. You can find us on Amazon. Go check out the book. Man, we've got this big global movement happening, and there's just big stuff going on. And the timing is perfect because the world is open. They realize that the system's broken, and they're looking for truth. And by the way, last time I was in front of Congress, one of the congressmen from Kentucky said this to me and to all the other doctors that were there. Said, look, if Dr. Nepute and his colleagues were right about what happened during the pandemic, what else are they right about?
Perfect.
And that's the question that people should be asking themselves.
And how can people find your podcast? Because I want people to understand. Your podcast right now,
Pep Talk.
It's the best podcast anywhere in America, in my humble opinion.
Peptalk.world is the podcast. Peptalk.world. It's a blast. We're having a lot of fun with it. People love it. And we're back. I've been quiet for 2.5 years because we've been building. Because I wanted to build in silence before we came out. Because the reality is, Eric, you don't tell the devil what you're doing until you're.
And I'm not just saying this because Dr. Nepute shoots it in this studio and Joe produces it. I listened to it. It is absolutely amazing. Dr. Eric Nepute, we appreciate it, buddy. God bless you and your family and all the work that you're doing, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
That does it for today's cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Eric Johnson, Megan Marie Moret will be back on Monday.
Yeah.
Eric, do you take that final? Does it feel like you just took a final?
I feel like I got through 101 of the course for sure. I'm waiting to get to the 400 level.
We went a little late. Platinum Rock Legends this weekend, Friday night.
Defiance
Winery,
yes.
Defiance
so you
Winery
can make
Friday.
it out there for that. Come on.
I got a game. High school football starts.
That's right.
MICDS is down in Hillsboro, so who knows? I'll get back. Maybe I'll have a drink somewhere.
I'm pumped.
We'll see.
I will not let you come to a PRL show if there's a Friday Night Lights kind of thing going on. Come on.
Mizzou football kicks off tonight.
What are they ranked?
Well, they're probably 10th now because number 10 lost, but they were 11 going into the game. But I feel bad for Murray State tonight.
Oh, jeez.
All right. That does it for us, guys. Love it. Have a great show. Catch us on all of our platforms. Cancelthisshow.com. Please like, subscribe, share the show. You can make a donation if you want to help us with our free speech platform. This isn't free. We try to put the best product we possibly can. And by the way, check out Dr. Eric Nepute. Have an awesome day. That does it for the fastest hour plus in podcasting. See you later.
All right.